What's going on, guys? My name is Renegade. Today we're going to be discussing the importance of team comp compared to players playing what they're good at. And if you've watched my content for a while now on Overwatch, you'll understand, and you'll already know the answer. But we'll be discussing some points and some attitudes that players often have. So first of all, when playing Overwatch competitive mode, especially in lower skill ratings, no, in fact, across the board at every skill rating, you'll see players that try to build a team comp that's optimal. That's fine. I understand the value of a team composition. You know, running into a match without any tanks is a fairly silly thing to do. Running into a match without any healers is a fairly silly thing to do. But I think the very minimum, of what you need in a team comp is one healer, one tank. If you've got those two things, then you're fine as long as everyone else is picking what they're good at. You'll see players that say stuff like, don't play Widowmaker, Widowmaker's garbage, switch off Widowmaker before the match even starts. And there's a couple of things I'd like to explain to you. Widowmaker is a difficult hero to play, there's no doubt about that. To get the same value that a Soldier 76 is to your team, just generally, on an average level, using Widowmaker is very difficult. It requires much more effort from the Widowmaker to play at the same sort of level as Soldier 76 might. So what I'm trying to say is Widowmaker is a lot harder than Soldier 76. However, that doesn't mean that you can't play Widowmaker. It just means that Widowmaker generally across the board is a poorer choice than Soldier 76. But say you get into this situation. You've got a player on your team that plays Widowmaker, and that's all they play. They've pretty much never played any other heroes. And the team that you're with wants that Widowmaker to switch to Soldier 76. So that Widowmaker plays Soldier 76. That Widowmaker plays Soldier 76 at an absolute garbage level, and your team loses, and they wonder why. They think they can't blame the team comp, so who do they blame? And you know they don't know why they lost. If that person had just played Widowmaker, their best hero, if that person had just played the hero that they're best at, then that would have been much more valuable to their team. Sure, Widowmaker on the surface seems terrible, and you know heroes like Sombros and Hanzo and all those kind of things, they seem terrible on the surface, but your team is much more likely to win if everyone is playing the hero that they're best at. So if you want to work around that, then you're much more likely to win than if you say, alright, we need a Soldier 76, we need a Mei, we need a Reinhardt, we need a Zarya, we need a Lucio, we need an Ana. If you set down the rules and you knuckle down and try and get everyone to play exactly what you want, then it's actually very unlikely you're going to win. The importance of team comp in this situation is very, very small. The only reason team comp is the first thing everyone goes to for problems is because it's the easiest thing everyone goes to. It's the easiest thing you can go to when you're looking at problems in your team. Often the way to go is to just switch around the roles within your team comp. You can have the same team comp often, but just switch it around. So Lucio, instead of playing Lucio, plays Soldier, and the Soldier plays Lucio, and so you just switch it around a bit. And so that person might be really good at Soldier on that map, and not so good at Soldier on the map you're playing right now. And so it's just a matter of switching stuff around, seeing what works within the team comp. Or you can try your different strategies. Team comp's not the only thing you can change. You can change strategies, you can change playstyles, you can change priority healing targets, you can change nano boost targets, ultimate usage, you can change a bunch more things than just team comp. But team comp is always the easiest thing to look at. And so I really do think that, you know, in a situation where you do have players that want to play what they're good at, just let them. Let them be what they're good at, and that's going to be much more valuable to you as a player. Finally, I'd like to end with some statements from a person I found on Reddit. So I asked this question on Reddit, and I got a couple of answers back, and I was mainly asking for answers from high-level players. And I got an Ana player that skill rating is 4,300, so it's no joke. 4,300 is Grandmasters. You're well into Grandmasters there, and you're probably top 500. That's the highest level of play. And this person said to me, I play Ana almost every single match, and when I play Ana, I often have to try and get a person to play second healers, because two healers is often the best way to go. Now, I often find that playing solo healer will result in a win because everyone's playing what they're good at. Even at Grandmasters, at top 500 level, you've got players that will refuse to play second healer and will just play what they're good at. and that somehow wins. You think, we need a second healer, we need a second healer. No, this person's saying, you don't need a second healer, make sure everyone's playing what they're good at, and then I'll play Ana, that's fine, I'll just stick with Ana, I'll solo heal, and we're much more likely to win, because everyone's playing what they're good at, everyone's putting in 100% effort. If you've got someone playing Lucio, and they don't want to play Lucio, and they're just grudgingly gone, okay fine, we need 2 healers I suppose, then that person is not going to be playing at Grandmaster's level, they're going to be playing at a lower level than Grandmaster's, because their skill might not be up to scratch with Lucio. Whereas if they played Hanzo, and you just went solo healer, then that's actually much more valuable to you, as long as that person's playing Hanzo because they're good at it. So yeah, another reason why this is a thing that people go off of is it's only really important to play an absolutely optimal team comp when you can presume the enemy team is going to be playing 100% their absolute best. They're going to be playing absolutely 100% optimized team comp. And what situation are you in when that happens? Oh yeah, that's right. It's pro play. That's the only situation where that's ever happening. Pro play is the only time where I would think that you'd actually 100% need to pick like a good team comp over anything else. Because at the end of the day, in pro play, you're trying to get every single edge over the enemy team as possible. And so, you know, no matter how good Seagull is at Genji, if the enemy team's got a Winston, Seagull is probably going to switch. Seagull has got to be doing the best he possibly can for his team. That's just an example of a pro player. Seagull's a pro player, by the way. And so that's the only level I'd say that team comp matters more than individual performance. At the end of the day, in solo queue, synergies aren't going to happen as much as you'd like. You know, team cooperation isn't going to happen as much as you like. Even at Grandmasters, team cooperation and coordination isn't going to happen as much as you like. And when that takes back foot, and you know the most common thing you see is individual performance, which is at most levels, in fact every level except pro play or 6-stack, then team composition doesn't matter at all. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.